Welcome to Planet Outlook. On the show today is the MD and Global CEO of Cipla, Mr. Umang Vohra. Thank you, Mr. Vohra, for joining us from the US.
Thank you, and I'm glad to be here. Thank you for having me with you.
So let me start with asking you about the Breathe Free campaign.
We are very passionate about the overall Breathe Free campaign, and this is something that comes beyond a campaign. This is something that comes deep within all of us. Cipla is the second largest seller of inhalers and devices across the world. I think GSK is number one. And in the emerging side of the world, I think we're probably selling a little bit more than GSK does. And it is with this responsibility that we have realized that each Ciplite, the 24,000 of us, has to take this next step into making sure that lung health for everyone is protected and everyone's lungs grow healthier and stronger. And so this campaign around Breathe Free has many connotations. It's about us trying to remove obstacles in the mind, the stigma of the use of inhalers for asthma. It's about us taking the role of making sure that we provide adequate diagnosis. It's about us making sure that we provide more medication that is more efficacious to go through the lung. And it's about also doing lots of partnerships with people to educate and to elaborate the vital nature of the lung. So we're talking about the whole ecosystem here. We're talking about patient services. We're talking about medication to cure. We're talking about diagnosis. We're talking about even making sure that people are well. And so those are the dimensions we're taking.
And are you going to run this throughout the year, or is this just the winter part when the air pollution is in the news, always in the news? How have you planned this?
So Breathe Free is an initiative that runs throughout the year. I think during the winter months, we run a campaign called Berok in India and some of the other India-like markets. And Berok is really about celebrating the challenges and the opportunities that await asthmatics. And so the whole campaign is about celebrating the life of people who've lived with asthma and have achieved great things in life. And I think our objective is just to make sure that we tell everyone that if you have asthma, there's so much more to look forward in life, and you can't let it inhibit you. So this campaign runs typically during the winter months, which is when the outbreak is the highest. The asthma outbreak and the allergen outbreak is the highest. But Breathe Free, the whole campaign about Breathe, Think Cipla, runs throughout the year.
I want to come back to the India part. Every day, our kind of life starts with looking at the AQI, and the Delhi air quality is like nearing to 200 kind of thing. The large number of poor who are really, really affected by air pollution. So as a responsible corporate, do you have a plan for that section of the society?
Let's start by just saying, what is our role as a corporate citizen? As a corporate citizen, our role, first of all, is to make sure that we make the environment safe for everyone. So we have a couple of goals, and our goal is to be carbon neutral by 2024, 25. And I think it's very important because what you inhale is where your ailments begin to start. We want to cut, just like everyone else, every country that signed the Paris Accord. We'd also like to cut our greenhouse gases by 50% by 2030. We want to be carbon neutral by 2024 and 25. We want to make sure there's safe water. And we want to promote the right use of antibiotics, right? And not antibiotics that can tomorrow begin to create issues around microbial resistance. So if you look at tuberculosis, it's a disease of the lung. And that disease has started taking a connotation where medicines can't treat it. It's become drug resistance because of the incessant use of antibiotics. So Cipla is going to champion these causes. We're going to champion the cause of ourselves being a good corporate citizen. We're going to champion the cause of making sure that antibiotics are prescribed as well as they can so that medicines can cure and not complicate diseases. And at the same time, we're going to do our bit to get the best medicines across to people who need it for asthma or for other indications that get treated by the lung. And each of our 24,000 people every day, they try and promote the aspect about good lung health within their communities. Just like our field force does it with the doctors in India, we try and promote this also through communities and through targeted campaigns like the Bero campaign.
On that note, I was also reading that Cipla's entire now business plan is to be the lung leaders and take on the world's rising this current respiratory, the several kind of disorders which are happening, from asthma, which is leading to other organ failure kind of thing.
Yes.
So let's hear about this a bit.
So I think we define lung leadership as the leadership of being able to provide solutions to patients that affects not only the lung, but affects all other diseases that can be cured via medicines delivered to the lung. So, as you know, if you were to look at it, that means diagnosis of people at times. That means providing them with the right medication. It also means that we're going to provide them with services. So here's an interesting stat. A lot of us today are driven by data, right? You have your data, I have my data. We're all looking at phones all the time. And there was this beautiful app that I saw on one of my trips to the US, where somebody was talking about a patient getting an asthmatic attack. And it happened to be that every time he went to his mother-in-law's place, he got this asthmatic attack. And so when they drilled the data down, they found that there was a pattern to this disease, right? And it was the mother-in-law's dog, which let out allergens, which caused an asthmatic outbreak. Now, imagine how much of benefit this data could give to somebody who is aware that there is an allergen in that mother-in-law's house in the form of the dog and the dog fur, and how he could avoid it, right? Even a simple mask when he goes there or anything else could, change things for his life. Similarly, like you mentioned earlier, we're all tracking AQI. It would be great for you to know when you go out what type of particulate matter is there, and whether a simple nasal filter could help you if you're an asthmatic to lead your life better. So, from our perspective, we're trying to provide data, we're trying to provide diagnosis and devices. And the objective here is to just turn your illness into a condition that you can manage through wellness, right? So you see the data, you diagnose, you're able to diagnose or get a sense of how you're feeling that particular day. And then you have medication that's helping you improve, which is the supply of medicines. And I think that's what we're trying to do, work with the doctor community around this. Work with patient support groups. And in fact, we are also wanting to take it a step further. We'd love to work with the government in their primary health centers, because the thing with asthma is the earlier you diagnose it, very often it goes undiagnosed. People keep drinking cough syrups thinking it's an issue of the lung, they have a cough, it's tonsillitis. And eventually you get to the conclusion that it is not that. So the earlier diagnosis helps in this as well. And so there's a little bit of ecosystem shaping here, where we're also advocating that this is how you treat your condition. But at the same time, Cipla is also lending its voice towards air pollution, towards reducing the allergens. We used to have this campaign in Delhi where we used to call it Save Your Lungs Delhi, right? Which was really about educating people about choices they can make when the environment gets polluted.
So let me ask you, Umang, in this point, that is it better for Cipla to kind of focus on one particular, because when we talk generally of air pollution, but there is this two big difference between outdoor and indoor air pollution. A lot of asthma people take because of the heavily polluted indoor air in our schools, offices, homes. So is there a plan to address indoor air pollution separately, kind of?
Well, actually, it's interesting you asked this question. I think it's a great question. We have found, interestingly, that during the COVID environment, a lot of people lived indoors, right? Offices were indoor, everyone was on chat groups, schools were indoor. And we found that the number of exacerbations on account of asthma actually reduced. right? So if you're indoor and you're at home, and if you have air purifiers working in every part of it, or you have air conditioners also do the same, somewhat similar effect, that you are able to reduce the number of exacerbations you have. It's only when you're more outdoors, you're breathing in polluted air, etc., that you begin to see an exacerbation or more exacerbations of asthma and COPD occur. What we would like to do is really to talk about people making good choices about how they lead life every day, right? What precautions they take armed with the data that they get, and how they can cure themselves back much faster. And I think that is what we would like to do as against, and it could come in the form of, indoor as well as outdoor, right? Both those. But we also want to do our part reducing pollution in the world that we live in.
Along with pollution, air pollution also, COVID has been a double whammy for our health. So your take on that, has COVID also opened up new avenues for you kind of thing as a pharma giant?
Yes, and it's a great question. I think COVID has, and we've learned two things with COVID. A, that people have suddenly beginning to realize the power of wellness. It's been quite interesting, at least for a lot of my friends on my college chats, my engineering group, my MBA group. I've suddenly realized that a lot of them have lost weight. I've suddenly realized that a lot of them started exercising, which are activities you would expect when the world is open. But they actually did it during lockdown because everyone had this subconscious feeling about trying to improve their own health. So one of the biggest things we've seen out of COVID is just people's intention to stay healthier. And I think this is one big consumer behavior change that, whether it's FMCG or us, we will see this going forward. And so I think in COVID, this was one change we saw, that vitamin sales went up, that people were more worried about their lung health. And suddenly the lung came into question. If we talk at a party and we were talking about somebody's medical condition, very often it would be heart, he had a heart issue. Or if it's, somebody's got diabetes, the lung never features. Right. And I think with COVID, what's beginning to happen is that now people go for their chest, HR chest CTs, etc., and they're talking about a score. Right. So the lung health and the wellness of the lung has suddenly been cast up as one critical organ that everyone needs to worry about. And so I think we've seen a benefit of that. And that, I think, has been the biggest change for us in COVID, other than the rest of the medication that we've been selling. Whether it was remdesivir or it was tocilizumab, I think the bigger benefit has just been positioning the lung as a very vital organ.
And I want to end today by asking you about the other plan that you have, which is called the borderless respiratory plan.
So when we have this ambition of trying to promote lung health for everyone, of trying to be the number one seller of devices worldwide for across the world, one of the things we've come across is that there is a lot more we can offer to patients in different parts of the world who don't have the type of services that we offer in India. So in India, we offer a lot of services, we offer a lot of devices, and they're quite cost friendly from a perspective. A lot of people in the emerging side of the world do not have insurance, and where people don't have insurance, they like options which are cheaper. There are options which allow them to continue the treatment for a very long period of time. And so when we look at this global slate of emerging markets around us, we also realize that our role is to take what we've done in India to these markets worldwide. And that is an initiative, what we call borderless respi. So we're anyway doing what we need to do for the US and Europe, but it's also the emerging market where bulk of the world lives today, where you have the most polluted cities, and people who are challenged with good lung health. Those are the markets where we want to take our diagnosis, where we want to take our intent to cure, and where we want to make lung a wellness topic and not an illness topic.
Thank you so much, Umang Vohra. It's been an absolute pleasure chatting with you.
Thank you very much, and thank you. Keep well, please. Thank you.